Hello, everyone. So, if you had seen any of my past videos, you would know that I just did a bucket list adventure, and that was to Peru to see Machu Picchu. Now, this series I'm going to do in probably 3 videos because there's so much to know when going, if you are planning a trip to Machu Picchu. The first stop is going to be Cusco. Now, whether you are hiking in or taking the train to Machu Picchu, Cusco is going to be the first place that you're going to go to. And I would highly suggest, because it is over 10,000 feet above sea level, spending a couple of days here. Altitude sickness is like no joke. And it is a quick way to put a massive damper on a vacation. But Cusco has so much to do. So I'm going to explain all the different things that you can do in Cusco. So let's get to it. So I want to start off with where to stay in Cusco. Now, when I was planning this, I wasn't 100% sure if I picked the right place, but I did. And it is absolutely the perfect place to stay if you are staying in Cusco and going to be going up to Machu Picchu. So we stayed at the Union Hotel Boutique or Union Boutique Hotel. I can't remember. This place is really cute. It is the perfect location. Plus, there is Kiki, who is probably the most adorable animal, and one of the reasons why a lot of people like staying here. But this place is perfect. It is literally a 3-minute walk to the train station, 3-minute walk to the marketplace, and they will hold your bags while you go up to Machu Picchu. So like I said before, one of the things that you want to do in Cusco is get acclimatized. And with that, I would say for sure to spend at least 2 nights here. The first day, you kind of just arrive, relax, do a little bit of walking, maybe go down to the market or take a little stroll to like the downtown area. This is the day you just want to take it easy and get used to, like, especially for us, we're not above sea level at all where I live. So it's just getting used to that thinner air. There's also some like small and large little squares that you can go to. Each one of them is got like its own little statue or a water fountain. The great thing about this is that you can grab yourself a really good cup of coffee, or again, to get yourself used to everything, you can get yourself a coca tea. One of the other things you can do on your first day is check out some of the cathedrals. Now, I am not a religious person, but I absolutely love visiting cathedrals and churches, like pretty much any temples. Like, I just love visiting them because one, the majority of them are a little older, and the workmanship that goes into these places, I just become so inspired. And not that I'm a workmanship person or anything like that, but it's just, you don't see that with modern stuff, and it is absolutely beautiful. So a couple of places that you can visit are I'm going to butcher most of the names on these ones here, but the Basilica Menor de la Merced. Now this one here is absolutely gorgeous. There is the church, which You can't take pictures or videos or anything like that, but the museum, which is attached to the church, is next door. I think it was 20 souls to get in. Now, like I said, I am not a religious person, but we had quite the experience or encounter here. We did Google it. Now, this one here just meant that like we were in the presence of like an angel, which was actually kind of cool. This place here is absolutely gorgeous. Eating in Peru. So there's a couple things that you should know. I love trying, local foods and stuff like that. Unfortunately, one of the things that is huge there is guinea pig, and I couldn't do it. I think guinea pigs are so freaking adorable, and they're like pets here. So it was something that I just couldn't try. However, I did try their soups. It was good, but I could not do the guinea pig. But if you are hungry when you get there, I would suggest checking out this place here. It's called El Corrado. This has the cutest little patio, and the food here was really good. We actually got the burger, and it had this like nice spice to it. I don't even know how to explain it, but it was really, really good. I know it's not trying out the local stuff here, but I wasn't prepared yet. So like I said, basically the first day is just taking your time, relaxing, checking out some of the stores, checking out some of the plazas. But day 2, if you're feeling up to it, I would suggest doing a smaller hike. So before we even get to that, I'm going to suggest that you make sure you download Google Maps and mark all of these places. They're not hard to get to, but there's not signage around to give you directions. So definitely make sure that you're marking all this on your Google Maps and download the map so that you don't have to use Wi-Fi while you're there. The first stop, I would head to the 12 angled stones. Now this spot here was really interesting to see the way that these rocks were carved out, and again, coming down to the workmanship of something that I'm pretty sure they've even said that is even really difficult this day and age to do, and this area here is like super old. So the next stop is Siete Borrequitos. I'm not sure if I pronounced this right. Is this like a tourist trap? Nah, yeah, maybe. It's a nice walk up. So this is gonna kind of get used to and to see whether or not you're ready to do the next activity. So if you start coming up here, take your time. There's no rush. Cusco is big, but the activities that I've picked out, you can take your time because it's only going to take you about a half a day to do. So if you get to here and you're starting to feel a little bit maybe crappy, I would suggest making your way back down instead of doing the rest. But this spot here, there's 2 cute little things in 50-foot radius. It can get crowded here. It wasn't while we were there, but we kind of did like we were a little more off season being in May. So it wasn't as crowded, but it can get crowded here, and people are pretty respectful from all the reviews that I've read as far as taking your turn and getting the perfect Instagram shot. But if it's too crowded, maybe make your way to this next stop, which is about 30 meters away. And that is this here aqueduct. I'm not even gonna try pronouncing it because it's just gonna be awful. But this is like another little picture perfect area that you would definitely want to check out, again, to kind of maybe make a little bit of way if there's a long lineup at the other spot. There is another area that is not far from here. Again, make sure you download the Google map. So this area here, you can actually still hike up to the top, but there is an entrance fee. Now, I was disappointed with myself, but I was also kind of disappointed with the people running it because we forgot to exchange our currency. We had brought in US funds with us and forgot to change it over to sols. And now for the most part, most places will actually take US, but this place here, I was so frustrated because we were asking them what it would be in US and they just couldn't give us an answer. We ended up leaving. But if you want to do the free version, you can actually still go up to the cross, which is on top of the hill, and that's absolutely free. So the last little area of Cusco that I kind of want to talk about is actually not in Cusco, but if you're in Cusco and you feel really good, I would actually suggest this once you come back from Machu Picchu to Cusco and spend the night. Take a later flight out and actually do this during the day because it's something you shouldn't miss. And yes, it is another one of those like Instagram places that everyone goes to. However, it's an Instagram place for a reason because it's absolutely gorgeous and amazing to see, and that is Rainbow Mountain. Now, I'm going to go into more detail on this one later on, but you can either hike it, horseback ride, or take an ATV. We decided to do the ATV, and I will get to that in one of my future videos on everything you need to do to plan a week there, but this is definitely a must. A couple of tips before going to Cusco, because these are a couple of things that, I've watched a few videos and I didn't see this in anyone's videos. So I'm gonna go over this right now. Cusco, of course, like I have said, you need to acclimatize. If you are like me from a sea level dwelling, I would suggest getting yourself some altitude sickness pills. Drink lots and lots of water, the cocoa tea, or the little mints that you can get, the candies, that's as well. Or you can actually get the coca leaf yourself and just chew on it. I did that when we did the Rainbow Mountain, and that's because Rainbow Mountain is even further up. If you are a Canadian going there, or European, or anywhere other than American, I would suggest grabbing yourself like $200 or $300 worth of sol and then just using your card. The reason being, especially for us Canadians, the exchange rate is brutal to exchange from Canadian to American, then to sols, when the majority of places, aside from like the market, getting into maybe the cathedrals, the majority of the places, even for food and stuff, they all accept card. So you're better off paying just in their currency right there. The one thing that I really liked about Cusco was how unbelievably safe it felt. At no point did myself or Jody ever feel uncomfortable. And the reason being is there are a lot of tourist police everywhere. But that wasn't just it. The one thing that I absolutely respected so much about the Peruvian people is when they're approaching to sell you something, whether it is artwork, the moment that you say no thank you, they leave. There's no haggling, there's none of that, except at nighttime they may ask you twice. Now, I try and learn as much as I can in a local language. My Spanish used to be somewhat decent back in the day, but I don't use it here, so it is really awful. Try and learn as much as you can, especially, to ask how much something is, or how to get somewhere, or that sort of thing. The reason being is that their English there is not the greatest, and that's even in the touristy areas. So, but it also is a respect thing. If, it's nice to greet somebody in their local language, and you can always have like your Google Translate, that sort of thing, to make things a little easier as well. But Cusco, I will definitely come and visit again because there is a lot to do here. I was just basically going over a few things to get you ready for Machu Picchu, which brings me to what the next video is going to be about, and that is planning Machu Picchu, because oh Lord, this was probably the hardest. It definitely was. It's definitely the hardest one that I have ever planned, and it's because their websites are awful, and that's putting it lightly. So I'm going to go over everything you need to know about planning for Machu Picchu, to what circuits to go on, pretty much everything. So stay tuned for that. Thanks everyone. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe and hit that little notification bell for all of my future videos. And of course, if you think anyone will benefit from this video, don't forget to share. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.